Hello there, Golf Freak here, and welcome to my 100 sub special. Um, Basically, what it's going to be is going to be a couple different things. But first off, this is going to be a list of my top 10 favorite civs, and this list is based off of how essentially the power of the civ and the degree of difficulty it would take to win with them, or conversely, how easy it is to win with them. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start that up right now. Coming in at number 10 is the Inca. And the Inca are a pretty good civ because of the unique improvement, the terrace farm. They get one food from mountain tiles, so you get production from that tile as well as +1 for nearby mountains. If this is done correctly, you can have a ton of food on one tile with decent production, which is always nice. And their special ability is the Great Andean Road. Units ignore terrain costs while moving into any tile with hills. No maintenance costs for improvements in hills. Half cost everywhere. In hills, it should be on hills. But anyway, this is roads. Completely roads. So the reason why these guys are number 10 is because A, you need a map with a lot of hills. So it's a little bit random whether or not you will have a good advantage to use your special ability. And essentially roads will be no more than half the cost that they are. So it could be good, but roads are not that big of a cost anyway unless you have an absolutely massive empire. And if you do have a massive empire, you should hope that you have a lot of gold. That way you can maintain your buildings and your army to defend that area. So you gotta hope that you have enough money to do that. But anyway, that's why they come in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have Polynesia. And Polynesia comes in at number 9 because of the Maori statue. And it gives one culture when built, and it has to be built on a shoreline. And it gives 1 gold after you get flight. So it's, once again, it's not the improvement's not very good because you need shore. And also 1 culture and eventually 1 gold is not that great. It's not necessarily bad either. And the special ability is wayfinding. Can embark and move on oceans immediately. +1 sight when embarked is 10%. Or excuse me, when embarked. 10% in combat strength bonus if within 2 tiles of Maori. So the reason why these guys come at number 9 is because their special ability pretty much is completely obsolete after people discover optics. I'm pretty sure it is. So it is completely obsolete and almost completely worthless after that, and the improvement doesn't work too well after. However, if played correctly in the early game with the correct type of map, the Maori can be the Polynesians can be extremely powerful if played right. You can attack quite early. If you see my let's play as I played with them, you attack quite early across the ocean tiles, and you can get some other cities on tiles that normally you wouldn't be able to have because of island maps. But once again, that only works on island maps. So you'd have to have a specific type of map for them to effectively be used. So it's not that great. That is why they come in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have Japan. And Japan gets the number 8 spot mainly because of their special ability, Bushido. Units fight as though they were at full strength even when damaged. This is great if you're fighting against a bunch of melee units. Melee, they're both correct. If you are fighting against range units, while they're not like super weak against them, it will really hurt because they can just be ranged to death and not have the special ability come into play at all. Plus, all they have besides this is military units, which are better. Are better slightly, but not great. So it's not good. It's not bad. It's just kind of like they could be a powerhouse if played correctly with a lot of melee units against someone else who's also using them. So for that reason, they come in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Arabia. And Arabia gets in there for their unique building, the Bazaar. The Bazaar replaces the market, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Gives 2 gold plus 25%, so it's the same here. However, it provides 1 extra copy of each improved luxury resource near the city, which could be great because that means you have more luxury resources to sell off. If you only have one of a specific one, it's like the only one on the map, you now have 2 and you can sell it off. So they can be an economic powerhouse because of that. And also their special ability is trade caravans. +1 gold from each trade route and oil resource to provide double quantity. While +1 gold is not amazing, if you do have a lot of cities, 10 cities means 10 gold. I believe this stacks with markets and stuff, so that can be a decent amount of gold, and it's better than nothing. And the oil quantity is always good, because you can always sell that off too. So, but because it's not that great, and it could be better, that is why they come into number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have India. Now, India is in for 2 reasons. First is the Mughal fort, which replaces the castle, and it actually gives 2 culture, which is quite nice. And it provides gold after flight is researched, which is also nice. So it provides culture and gold. That is very, very nice. And you would definitely, because they don't cost anything to maintain either. So it's like a free culture and free gold, which is always nice. And also their special ability, which is unhappiness from number of cities is doubled. Unhappiness from number of citizens is halved. So this, at first, I didn't think it was that great, but when I came to realize that based on the way that my playstyle and the way that I play, I normally have approximately 60 to 80 unhappiness based on citizens, and 5 to 10 unhappiness based on my number of cities. So thinking about it that way, you actually gain a lot, like a minimum of 10 happiness if you do that. You'd really have to have a lot of cities with very low population for his special ability not to affect them. And because happiness is such a big deal, you get golden ages more easily this way. It is quite effective if used the correct way, and that is why they come in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have the Mongols. And they get in for the reason because their special ability is not that great. It's only like against city-states, and mounted units have +1 movement. That's not that great. The reason why they get number 5 is because of the Khan. The Khan is amazing. It replaces the Great General, and it provides combat bonuses as a normal Great General, but it has way more movement, and it can heal adjacent units. So it can heal them. Let's see, 5 can move the same rate 5 per turn. It can hit you for an additional 2 HP per turn. So I'm not sure. It might stack with a medic unit, and it might not, but the very minimum that you can heal up per turn is 3, which is amazing. So you can essentially have if you have enough units there and a Khan nearby, not on the same tile, as I've found out. It cannot be on the same tile. It has to be next to them, which is weird. But they can heal a minimum of 3 per turn. In friendly territory, that would be 4 per turn. With a medic, if it stacks, 4 or 5 per turn, depending. So it would be amazing, and you can have fewer units and just have them heal up and do much better if you do it that way. So it could be quite powerful, military-wise, if used correctly, which is why they come in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Babylon. And Babylon gets in for pretty much the sole reason of their special ability, Ingenuity. Receive a free Great Scientist when you discover writing, and earn Great Scientists at double the usual rate. This is very nice because if you want to be technologically savvy and get way ahead and get a ton of things to build and a ton of advanced units and just destroy them technologically because you're so advanced, that is quite smart. So if you play very scientifically, go for a very high population, rush the technological techs, get the buildings out as fast as possible, you will have a ton of science, and you will be able to rush and slingshot techs faster than anyone else would believe. And hopefully, if you play it right, you get a lot of money. You can do research agreements and get even more advanced techs. So they can be very technologically savvy if you play them correctly, which is why they get in number 4. And now we come to the top 3. And the top 3 was kind of a toss-up for me. So, because they all have kind of similar bonuses. And so, I have arranged them based on the usefulness of their abilities or whatnot whatnot. Never mind. Whatever. Anyway, this is all one take, by the way, so, yeah. Anyway, coming in at number 3, we have Egypt. And Egypt is in because of 2 reasons. Their first is the burial tomb. Requires no gold maintenance, which is always nice. And gives 2 happiness and 2 culture, which is always nice. Free happiness, free culture. All it takes is the 100 production. That is great. That is what we want. So that is always nice to have. And their unique their unique bonus is monument builders, plus 20% production towards wonder construction. Now, this is great because if you play the way I do it all, you always are building wonders. However, the reason why they come in at number 3 is because you usually only build wonders in your capital or one or 2 other cities. So you don't usually build it in every single city because your other cities are not quite as production oriented and might not be able to build stuff and be focusing on buildings, while your capital has already had all its buildings, so it can really build nothing else than wonders. So because of that, it only affects a certain city, not every city. And for that reason, they get in 3rd place. It's definitely not bad at all, though. It is quite a nice bonus. Coming in at number 2, we have Rome. And Rome is in for pretty much the only reason why is the glory of Rome. 25% production towards any building that already exists in the capital. Now, this is quite nice. If you have enough money, you can rush buildings in the capital, so having them in the capital is not that big of a deal. Plus, if you focus on production in your capital, after you've built the buildings, you can focus on wonders in your capital and build them everywhere else. So it's 25 production if you do it correctly in every single city, not just your capital and not just because of that. So effectively, it helps your production time everywhere else and helps your building to become stronger. You get more gold, you get more research, you get more production, you get more of everything. So that is the reason why they get into 2nd place. So once again, in my mind, it's slightly better because it is more well-rounded for every single city. And finally, we have coming in number 1, Persia. Now you might be asking, well, what does Persia have in common with the other 2? Well, the other 2 are mainly production focused, but I'm going to get to that in a second. They come in for 2 reasons. Satrap's Court. It is replacement for the bank. Now, it is quite nice because the bank, I am pretty sure, is it on here? Yes. The bank is 25% gold increase. However, the Satrap's Court is 25% gold increase plus 2 gold, as well as it gives 2 happiness. So it gives more gold and happiness on top of that. And it's the same production cost. So this is amazing. It's not only a free building, but it actually produces gold itself as well as happiness. That is great. That is what we want. And the reason why they come to number 1 is because of their special ability, the Achaemenid Legacy, whatever that is. Golden Ages last 50% longer, and during a Golden Age, units receive +1 movement and a 10% combat strength bonus. Now, because of Satrap's Court, they have happiness, which helps get Golden Ages. And if Golden Ages last longer, that's also better. So if this is done correctly, you could have, and if you rush Chichen Itza, I believe it is, you get 50% longer, meaning that you'll have 20 turn Golden Ages, which is great. And the reason why this is better than Rome or Egypt is because if you're on a Golden Age, you get a 20% increase in production as well as gold. You want lots of gold. The more gold you have, you can just rush buildings and bypass production altogether. But it also affects, overall, it will affect all cities, no matter what. It will affect your wonder production, your building production, no matter what. Now, you might say, well, it's not happening all the time. Well, if you do it correctly, it will be happening most of the time. And you can get long Golden Ages. In fact, my Golden Ages I had would have lasted 50 turns. If done correctly. You get 1 Golden Age through happiness, 1 through a policy, and 1 through sacrificing great people. You want a lot of great people as well. If played correctly, the Persia can be insanely strong because they can get a ton of money. So for that reason, these 3 are kind of a toss-up. I think it's a little bit closer between Persia and Rome, in my own opinion. But these 3 are kind of a toss-up. You have to play them correctly in order to do them, but they're all great. So anyway, those are my top 10 favorite civs to play as, and that is based on basically effectiveness played. Now, in the comments, I would very much appreciate it if you give out your, however top, maybe you're just your top civ or even top 10 as far as you want to go, And you don't have to give a reason. Just say if you like, just say your top 10. If you want to give reasons, go ahead. I'm not sure if you'll have enough space, but maybe if you want to do that, make it your top 3 and just give a quick, brief, one-sentence explanation or something like that. But yeah, that would be quite cool. I want to hear your guys' opinions based on your favorite Civs. And that is my top 10 favorite Civs. And I'm also going to use this video as a slight announcement. I'm going to be starting a mini-series in Civ 5. It's going to be called You Never Know How High You Are Until You're Called to Climb. If you get that reference, I will give you a fictitious pat on the back. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Anyway, what it's going to be is I'm going to play as one of my top 3 Civs, which will be Egypt, Rome, or Persia. Most likely Persia. And every time I play, it will be on a slightly higher difficulty. So I'm playing on Prince, which is level 4. I'll be going up to level 5, which I believe is King, if not, but whatever level 5 is. And my objective is to win the game. If I win the game, good. I move on to the level 6 difficulty. If I don't win the game, then I try it again. I'll try it up to 3 times. If I can't win any of those 3 times, then the previous difficulty is the only one I can win. So that is what I'm going to be doing. Whether or not I do it every time will be up. It might be doing every other Civ game because I have my Pog now. I might be doing more PS3 games, however, probably not as often until newer games come out. So, because of that, I will be playing a little bit of Civ 5, giving out a little bit per day, hopefully. And, yeah. So, that is that. And is there anything else I would like to talk about? I don't know. You know, if you guys want to see me play as anyone else, let me know. I've already played as almost everyone, and everyone that has a decent enough Civ to play. And America was really underpowered, guys. I'm really sorry. If you want to see me play as America and fail, go watch my Civ Rev Let's Play. And I might do another Let's Play of that too. Who knows? But anyway, that is what I'm going to be doing. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. So, thank you very much for watching. I want to thank all the people who have subscribed to me. I hope more do. So, thank you very much for watching, and God bless.